Okay, let's start. This lesson, gonna see how Word help me make a complicated document easier to understand. And this is Unit 5 or Module 5 or Chapter 5, whatever you call it. If you look at it, is like a gazette, newspapers, all these things. Now, Word is there to create also columns, tables, graphic for you, and to improve the appearance and the readabilities of lengthy documents. There is some stuff is called like a smart art. You can have tables there. So let's see what we're gonna know. The question comes in, how can I create and format a column? How can I insert and modify a table? How can I insert and manipulate a clip art? What's a clip art? Smart art and a word art. How can I work with a textbook? And what vocabulary word should I review? Now, as we know, there is column, tables, graphics, usually in the Excels, but also you can have a column, table, graphics can make your document like a newspaper more attractive and easy to read. We saw in the video. So what you have here, something called, you can create a column, and this is a column bottom, and then 3 columns, you can make it 3 or more of equal width, and you can have a section break shows where the columns begins. So a column is a group of text that vertically and makes it easy. So a column is a group of text vertically, and it makes it easier to read many stories on a single page, like in newspapers. So newsletters text is usually displayed in 2 or 3 columns. Now, to do that is to create a column in a document, use the column dialog box. And there you can find all the information of how to do adjust your columns. The dialog box allows you to control how the columns are formatted. So you can have a 1 column, 2 columns, 3 more, from line between boxes or not. Then you can automatically adjust the columns, each column, how size, the width, you want to have, or you want to do it equally, each column equal, all the columns equal with each other. So there is so many options when you are using a columns. Now, as a preset, you might want to use, like, say, 3 columns. So use the column dialog box to adjust the column width, as we said, or change the number of the column. So usually it's a 3, you can make it 2 with the left, 2 with the right, or 1 or 2. And you can preview that. So you can do, as we said, equal column width, and you can apply to the box, apply it to this section, certain section. Preset allow you to select pre-formatted columns. So you can go with the presets to allow you to pre-formatted columns to see what your columns will look like you can choose a preview. And the preview, you see it here, it's on your site. So if you click this, this will change. Click this will change. So to do that, you have the page layout, and then from the page layout, you can do the breaks or the columns. When a text reaches the end of each column, it automatically wraps or moves to the top of the next column. So you write like this, once it's reached, it goes to the next one and writes it down like that. And according to your break page too. Insert the column break to force the text begin at the top of the next column by clicking break button on the page layout top. So when it's reached to that page, it's not going to go down, it's going to go on the top, start the column, and once finished, it goes on the second one, it's got the columns. Let's do some academic check. How do you format a newsletter so that it's attractive and easy to read? Formatting a newsletter in a columns makes it attractive and easy to read. Let's do some tech check. How do you adjust the width column in the Word? Answer. Use a column dialog box to adjust the width of a column in a Word. Now, tables effectively present a complicated information. There's two ways. You can put it in Excel and just copy it and paste it there, or you can create a table inside the Word, and you go to the design and you select the table from the design that you want to insert. Once you've done that, but what's a table? At the work, you might use a table to present the result of a survey or detailed analysis of information. So you have some complicated information, you want to present it. At the school, you might use the table to list the research result for a science project or marketing projects, for example, marketing research project. But once you want to insert the table, you have to select, before you insert the table, you have to select the number of the columns that you want and the numbers of the rows. So, and to fix the column, it could be automatically or could be, have a number on it. So to insert or draw a table in a document, click table column button and insert a table as you saw here. So you click design and insert a table. And after you use the insert dialog box here to choose the number of the column and number of the rows in your table. Now, a table consists of a vertical columns and horizontal rows. Always you have to keep in mind, this is what you call column, and this is what you call rows. So how many rows you want and how many columns you want. That's to be on that. When a column and a rows cross in a table, they call them a cell. So this is a cell. So if you notice, this is what you call a cell. And usually in the Excel sheet, you can find the number of the cell, which one. And we will talk about it when it comes to the Excel sheet. But this is what you call a row, and this is what you call a column. So now you have the table. It's time for you to use that table. To key the text in a cell, you position the insertion point in the cell and then start keying the text whatever you want. To go to the next, you press tab And to go to the previous, we press previous cell, shift tab, or you go click back to it. The next row is arrow down, the upper row, arrow up. If you want to go to the first cell, you go Alt Home. That's going to speed the thing. And the last cell is Alt N. If you want to do a first cell in a column, put Alt space down, or if you're going to do a last cell in a column, you do Alt page up. To move more effectively through a cell, rows, and column, you can use these keyboard shortcut, or you use your insert or a mouse to click on that cell. And the reason you need to know these, because sometimes you have a big, table, and it's very difficult to move from the top to the bottom, so it's easier for you to do that. That's in the Excel sheets. Yeah, maybe you're not using a very, very big, sheet. Now, but when you do that, you need to make it nicer. So you need to have something better, looks better, more attractive. So the way you do, you need to add shading. You might want to add border to emphasize on a specific content and make a table look more interesting, and or to change the color of the wording in certain places. So you can put a shading or change the color of wording. Now, to do that is just you click on move handles and you can select it and you shade it. Anyway, to make it fit better, change the column width or let it autofill. I usually leave it autofill to do it for you. I usually do that too. Now, when we want to make borders to make it look nice, first of all, you can have it shown for you, and to add a border and shading to the table by clicking the border and the shading drop down arrow on the home tab, which is this one. Can you see here the border shading? Sorry. Okay. To format the border and shading, now you can select the colors here, line style. So now you have border and shading. Type it, select one of them, and you want to have the color style, and you can see the preview how it looks like. If you want to do it all, or do it as a box, or none, or custom, you can also make it as a custom too. How might you use the table in a professional document? Answer. You might use a table to present the result of a survey or a detailed analysis of information collected, as we said, for example, marketing research information. How do you insert a table in a Word document? As I said, you can do it as a separate an Excel sheet and insert it, or the Word has its own. You can insert it to insert or to draw a table in a Word document. Click Table button on the Insert tab. Now let's make it nicer. Now when a format comes in, we want to put probably some pictures, and Pictures tool, contextual tab opens to insert a clip. So you want to insert a clip, you can have it from outside or within the Word, they have clips also. You can search for them. So you can use the word to insert and manipulate a clip art. Use a clip art to enhance the look of a document or break up long blocks of the text. So if you have a long block of writing, you want to insert some art or a clip, so that makes it more interesting, intriguing. And that's what you call a clip art. Now, to insert the clip art, you click on Insert, and there you have showing all type of things you can insert. You can insert a picture you have, or a clip art, or other thing. But this is the clip art, and you can search it and they can find it. For example, here you look at the bike, they can give you different ones. And you get the result, and then you select it. When you select it, it's going to go where you put your the insert clicking. It's going to go there. So the clip art gallery contains pictures that you can insert into a document, but you can do always an advanced layout for it, align the clip art centered relatively to the column, or to the right side, or to the left side. And you have an option, and also to resize and format the clip art to fit your document. Design, use the advanced layout dialog box. To move the clip art, point to it and drag it to where you want to place it on the page. So you can move it, or click on the corner of it, cut it and paste it, or you can click on it and drag it. Now, every textbooks might be reduced. If you want to reduce it, you can do that, or reduce the clip art also. Use the textbooks to arrange the blocks of the textbook on a page. A textbook is movable, like you see here. Resize the box that contain the text. You can resize it again because you're making boxes. Now, the text box has 8 sizing, and use a sizing handling to resize the text box. So you can zoom in or zoom out, make it bigger or smaller. Now, sizing handles can also be used to resize the objects, such as this clip art, shape, and picture. There is something called the Smart Gallery, contains several samples of diagrams to help you to make your point. So you can select the diagram, put it there, and adjust it. You can put pictures on, you can write things, as you see here in this diagram. They're all available in the Smart Art Gallery. A diagram can explain an idea or a process by displaying a graphically. That's a diagram. Or a graphic is an element, which is this one, you can insert it, that is used to display information or added information insert to a document. That's a different when you are bullet, use a bullet. This is a different, this is a graphic. And the graphic, you can get it from, there's available on also here in this site. You put here, and then these are available for you, the graphic. So word tool that allows you to create an easy to see a graphic shape, such as a circle or an arrow or a stars. So if you notice, you go on here, and then you click on which one you want to, and you can lay it down. So this is, that could be a graphic, a stars, arrow, or a star. and they are available when you use the insert and shape buttons. There are so many of them available for you. So maybe you want to select the stars is here. So use the shape menu to select the types of shapes you want to create and use it. Then later on, you can drag it wherever you want to, or make a copy of it, or cut and paste it. Now, there is what you say a word art is a text that could be stretched, shadowed, or shaped, different shape, or even the word art gallery contain many types of word art. So there is so many of them available. You can only select them and use them in your Word file. So it's basically, it's gonna look like this once you're working on it. Word art can create a visual interest appeal in the document. And word art is to create something like that, a visual appealing title of a newsletter. So you can do this, or you can even go from the font and change it. Let's do some skill check. What are some ways of creating a visual interest in the newsletters? Some ways of creating visual interest in the newsletters include adding a graphic, such as clip art, word art, and smart art. How do you resize and format a clip art to fit a document design? Use the advanced layout dialog box to resize and format clip that to fit a document design. How do you resize a text box? Sorry. Resizing it, use the sizing handle to resize it, the text, or also you can, by clicking on the corners, you can also resize it too. Or on the side, make it slimmer or wider too. Column. It is all of the cells arranged vertically under a lettered column heading. So it's like that's a column. Column breaks, separation of text from one column to the top of the next column. So you have 1, 2, could be 3, 4, like in newspapers. Table, a set of rows and column used to organize information, especially if you have lots of information, you can organize them to, as in a table, especially if you've done a research, marketing research, or whatever, you can do it as a table within the Word file, or you can do it as Excel and import it too. Cell, the intersection of a row and a column in a table or a worksheet. Clip art, movable and resizable image or a pre-made graphic that can be inserted into a document to break up the blocking and make it more interesting for the text. Now, text box is movable, resizable, as we said, it's a rectangle and contain a text. So you can make it smaller, bigger, and move it. The diagram, as we said, it's a graphic that represent or illustrate a concept of process. Diagram can be used to organize and present information. So you take a simple diagram and you can, change inside each box to show more information customized. Graphic is a visual element that is used to display information and add a visual interest to the document. And word art, we said it's a tool used to create a text that is stretched, shadow shaped. It shows like a letter A, but it's so many of them. So you select how it looks like. And that's it.